Okay, this episode is Party of One, which, yeah, that turns out to be a good name for this episode. Well, a good name in a way I wasn't expecting at first, but, okay, let's see. We start out, Pinkie Pie is sending everyone invitations to her toothless alligator's first birthday party. It's Gummy the alligator's party, and hopefully he'll have no teeth forever because he really likes to bite all of the ponies, but, alright, anyway, she sends the invitations by singing Telegram, and you gotta love her enthusiasm there, just like, door to door, see all six friends reacting to this, and just like we hear the whole song over in like a montage over the course of these visits, and then she gets more and more tired every time until she just kind of falls on her face by the last one, and yeah, decides she should just pass out written invitations from now on, which okay, that was pretty cute, but all right, so it's okay. The party happens onto the actual plot. So let's see, they all at the party, and because that's Pinkie Pie's specialty, they're all having a great time, but she's especially enthusiastic. She's going on, sweet old Pinkie Pie, about how, just having all the friends there makes it special, all that good stuff, I guess. Well, but, it's almost like though she's borderline over enthusiastic, or just, I mean, uh, well, it's like the goodwill of Pinkie Pie in this first portion. Like, what? Yeah, she's sharing. What is it? Yeah, she's giving Rarity some punch. Rarity loves it. Asks what she did with it, and then she sees that Gummy is in the bowl, drinking out of it. So she spits it right in Pinkie Pie's face, and Pinkie Pie doesn't even seem to notice. She just keeps going on about how it's Gummy's favorite and all of that. So yeah, okay. And then what? The dancing. She was like doing that thing where, yeah, so loose limb that she knocks everyone into the walls and stuff like that. But what? Yeah, and then bobbing for apples, she like decides to put joke apples in the thing, so they what is it? It's odd touch an apple on a spring. You pull it out, it pulls you back in or something like that. So okay. Oh, and Gummy the alligator's in there. He attaches himself to Rainbow Dash's face as she has to pull him out. So okay, and I guess where it seemed like they were going with all of this was that yeah, all of the friends they still appreciate the party, but they like would have appreciated their personal space. Like they I don't know, there's such a thing as too much, I guess. But okay, so then they're on their way out. They seems like okay, they've had their fill. They're thanking her for the good time. They're exhausted, and but they're saying that okay, yeah, we should do this again soon. But yeah, see you later. And but Pinkie Pie wants them to stay. She's saying, well, we still have some cake. I mean, she doesn't want it to end. So anyway, when Twilight says we should do this again soon, that becomes her inspiration. She decides to throw an after birthday party the next day. She goes around passing out invitations, but everyone turns them down. They all start talking about how they have other stuff to do. Twilight has to study. Applejack has to pick apples. And I mean, I'm not sure if this was intentional or not, but yeah, it turns out like Applejack is a very bad liar, or the words do not come easily to her. So I mean, yeah, and yeah, she's the element of honesty, so I don't know if that was intentional, but, well, I appreciated it, so, okay, and Fluttershy and, Rainbow Dash, I shouldn't call Applejack out too much, they give the worst excuse trying to come up with just something that sounds plausible, and the story about a bear who wants them to watch his cave while he goes to the beach to play seashells and collect volleyballs, and that is actually what they say. But all right, and that's the only one Pinkie buys, of course. But then she starts to get suspicious, so she wanders around trying to spy on them, and she sees them now sneaking around the town, picking up something from the bakery that they're passing to each other. For some reason, they need to take it to where it's going by handing it off one at a time. And yeah, they're all whispering about how they hope Pinkie Pie isn't going to find out. And yeah, you might be thinking, if you haven't seen this one, that this sounds like every other surprise birthday party episode we've seen. But yeah, not really. Yes. See in a minute, because then, yeah, Pinkie Pie. I mean, just she's not just hurt or like concerned, worried. She starts going on a mission now. She runs into Rainbow Dash, and chases her all over the town, and like I think they did that once before, but she's not really channeling Pepe Le Pew anymore. She's channeling more like Freddy Krueger. But yeah, Rainbow Dash runs, hides. Pinkie Pie's already there every time. Yeah. So, all right, yeah, Rainbow Dash finally makes it into Applejack's barn to take shelter. Applejack has to give her an unconvincing story, and I mean, Pinkie Pie and her, they give each other these long stares with long standoff. Yeah, Applejack's in a cold sweat. It's all good and awkward, not entirely uncomfortable, but it sounds like I said not entirely. It's entirely uncomfortable, and so finally, he gets her big plan to figure all of this out. She just kidnaps Spike, or she lures in Spike, puts a plate of gems on the table, and then pins him to the cherries in with getting the alligator's help and tells him he has to confess. And he has no idea what she's talking about. He starts confessing that he used up all the hot water the other day, and he likes to look at himself in the mirror and admire his baby dragon biceps. And okay, finally she just tells him what to say. She's like, "No, tell me that my friends are avoiding me and don't want to be my friends anymore." And so he just says that, and yeah, huge moment here. She's like, "Aha! I knew it!" And then pop, her hair deflates like it was the last episode, 2 episodes ago, before she learned to smile, and then she's heartbroken. Spike, for some reason, doesn't seem very tuned in here. He just starts eating his gems. So oh my gosh, that sounded like the worst double entendre. He starts eating the plate of gems that Pinkie put in front of him. But okay. So anyway, then yeah, not only is Pinkie now a broken heart, she starts to go off the deep end here. She throws herself a party with she throws the party she was going to have for the alligator with all of her new friends, a sack of flour and a pile of rocks, a piece of lint, and does all the voices for them. And then, yeah, they keep zooming in on her with like her pupils dilating, and then, yeah, just like this in like brief jolts, she like gears up like she's about to snap or something, and then just like keeps having her party. And then finally, they do a scene where the other friends start calling the Pony Gang a bunch of losers, and Pinkie Pie's eyes just like completely spread out, dilate, and she just like then it just becomes this scene where don't even show her doing the voices anymore, just like something out of The Shining. All of these things are just talking to her and telling her that she should never see her friends again. And so she finally agrees, and that's when Rainbow Dash shows up and tells her she's got something to show her over at Applejack's farm. So, but Pinkie Pie doesn't want to come along now. She starts voicing her friends to argue with Rainbow Dash, and then Rainbow Dash is understandably a little creeped out, and she's like, "Okay, yeah, let's get on out of Crazy Town, and how about," or what does she say? I don't know. She's just like, "Okay, yeah, let's move on here," but he refuses. She finally gets Applejack to argue with the pile of rocks, and okay, so finally Rainbow all right, fine. You want to do this the hard way? Grabs Pinkie Pie, shoves her all the way across town to the apple farm, and of course they open the door and it's a surprise party. But Pinkie thinks it's the party to kick her out of the group. That for some reason they would kick her out of the group and throw a party to celebrate it. And so, okay. But anyway, so yeah, she's furious. She's still just as bitter as ever. And then finally, Twilight points out that the cake says "Happy Birthday, Pinkie Pie," and they zoom in on Pinkie Pie, walking around the room, taking all of this in, sure of how to feel, and then she hair reinflates, snaps back to normal, remembers that it's her birthday, which she somehow forgot, and gives everyone a big group hug, and then, okay, they all make nice, she apologizes, alright, yeah, that's fine, let's kick off the party now, ends with a celebration, and Twilight writing a letter about how you should typically assume your friends have your best interest at heart. So, okay, this episode, it starts out, it's another first-rate Pinkie Pie episode. It's the singing telegram was a lot of fun. That was really energetic, good stuff. The party, which they kept playing cute there, and in a distinctly Pinkie Pie sort of way, just how nothing gets her down. Like you can spit punch in her face and she'll keep smiling at you and whatnot. And then the stuff like the shot of Gummy just like suctioned onto Rainbow Dash's face while she's trying embarrassed by it or whatever. That was cute, but okay. Then though it kind of takes a turn into a different sort of territory. Like I thought what they were doing with the first half was it was going to be a lesson about overkill and stuff about how they do love her parties, but there's such a thing as too much. I guess I already said that, but I thought that was going to be why they turned down her party the next day. But yeah, then okay, they're doing the typical surprise party plotline. The person who's getting the party thinks it's everyone just avoiding them, but yeah, instead of playing that typically, and I should respect that they didn't play it typically. It's like they just sort of leave Pinkie Pie by herself, or in a space without a whole lot of structure to just sort of fall apart. Like she starts getting suspicious, and she has all these standoffs, and it's awkwardly funny for one thing, just how they're all trying to how the friends and Pinkie Pie are trying to sort of do what they're trying to do, but they're not meeting here. They're like they can't reconcile this because it is kind of awkward, but then she just keeps getting like more suspicious and confrontational. They really get across her hard feelings here, and it's uncomfortable, honestly. And then the last part, it's just like they have the scene of her going off the deep end, which okay, and I guess one thing about this show is that it seems to know when it would be too easy to play cute or to make it too feel good, and it knows not only is it smart enough to not always make it just feel good stuff, it sometimes walks around the opportunity to do that. But the problem here is just after completely watching this unstructured collapse of Pinkie Pie, they have the scene where Rainbow Dash just drags her to the party, and then she sees it, and then the friends try to encourage her. They don't really try to say like a haymaker morality, like no heart to heart or anything, which but then just her encouraging her, and her finally realizing the truth. That didn't even seem close to a match to what we'd just seen. It was like all the negative energy. They just set aside a whole portion of this to just build up nothing but negative energy, and then, for lack of a better word, negative energy. And then, she shows up at this party, and there was no way I could believe that, she would just snap back to normal, after all that from what had happened. That seemed a little creepy itself, that she would just snap back to normal like that. But so I think that, are we sure that Pinkie Pie doesn't need a therapist or something? But actually, though, Roger Ebert had said something when he reviewed "I Love You to Death" on Siskel and Ebert. Loosely quoted about because he thought it was kind of a disturbing movie, a black comedy about a woman trying to kill her husband. But he said it made me uncomfortable. It made me wonder how the characters were going to recover from this, but it didn't bore me. So. And I Love You to Death, that was a positive review, by the way. So, and that's basically how I feel. This one is quite an episode to wrap your head around in some ways, but it's still entertaining, even if it does leave you feeling a little unsatisfied about some parts of it. But so yeah, overall, I mean, I said I liked the first portion. Second one was awkwardly funny and certainly not boring. And I mean, and I guess also there was some other good comedy too. Like I think the Toothless Alligator. Yeah, Gummy. He has a ton of background gags this time, and they're all pretty good. Like Pinkie Pie has that walkie-talkie you make out of two cans and a string, and she's using it to spy on Twilight while he's in the background, balancing on a ball of yarn, just running around on it doing circus tricks and stuff like that. And how Pinkie Pie disguises herself going after her friends to her Groucho Marx mask doesn't, or she thinks her cover's been blown, so she jumps in a hay bale to hide, and so we get a hay bale with Groucho Marx's face on it, and Fluttershy runs into that, and it scares her away. But okay, so yeah, all in all, this was a good one. I had a lot of comments telling me that they thought it was a great one, and like I said, I wasn't totally satisfied with it, so I can't exactly say that. But even so, I did like it. So all right, the next one is the big season finale. Oh shoot, this is the one I'm going to forget the title on. It's Best Night Ever. That sounds like something out of One Direction. For the most part, I do not like that, but I'm going to assume it's not. And okay, we'll see what the season finale is. See you then.